How's it going, everyone? Mike here with April 15th Merch by Amazon sales update. Uh, Things are slowly and slightly improving from a couple days ago. As you can see here, 9 sales in the US, one in France, for the total of 10. So at least I've gotten back to double digits, and it's a better feeling than seeing that number 4 or 5 on the daily sales, as you can see here. So I'm actually kind of curious what's going to happen over the weekend, because this is actually kind of unusual. Usually weekends you get a bit of a spike, and last Saturday, as you can see, there were 10 sales in the US, and then Sunday it just went down. So I'm kind of curious because I'm even halfway through the morning right now. There are no sales. Usually by this time there's probably at least a few. So anyways, this is where we are right now. So 10 sales in total, which is not bad. Like, I actually, as long as I'm hitting those double digits, I'm okay. And of course you want to improve over time. So this month in the US brings me to 113. This is the total, and as you can see here, $420 in royalties. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I can see the total sales. So $2,065 in sales halfway through the month. Which, when I just think about that on its own, a year ago, 2 years ago, if somebody said, "Hey, one of your platforms, merch, for example, you're going to be hitting 2,000 sales or 4,000 or 5,000 sales a month," it would have been kind of hard to believe. Of course, you want to get those sales up, but just think about that, $5,000 in sales. And now what's been happening, at least this year, if I'm looking at 2021 on its own, I've been hitting that every single month. So I'm looking at 60, 70, depending on how Q4 goes, and if there's nothing like unexpected like last year with COVID. If it continues like this, looking at $70,000 to $100,000 in sales in a year. Now, if you're not a pro, if you're not a professional where you own your own store, you should be impressed by any means. Like, it doesn't matter what tier you're in, but if you're going to be getting close to $100,000 in sales a year, and like I said, one of the marketplaces, I can't see anybody viewing that as a negative in any way. So like I said, we're looking at the first 15 days of the month, and I've been talking about kind of getting close, or at least hitting last month's numbers, and right now it's kind of like it's in that area. Like, we're kind of there, but there are definitely more often lower selling days than in March. But again, when there is a spike, it really spikes. So for example, even though this is like 11 or 9, the total sales for these days are somewhere around 14, if we combine it with the other marketplaces. So overall, like, if we're halfway through the month, and let's say we just simply double this, there's going to be 226 sales that I'm going to hit in the US. That's pretty close to 259. So again, that's kind of where I go with those numbers. I really have to kind of change my mindset and not look at each individual day, but really look at the average more and more. So let's see. So this is let's look at this month. I want to see where I am actually. So 134. So again, the good thing, a good feeling is that I've gotten to a point where I get at least a few sales in every single marketplace throughout the month. There were definitely months ago, there were a bunch of zeros all across the board, but now it's slowly building up. I kind of consider these other marketplaces as if I was just starting out with merch and I was at a lower tier, and getting a few sales here and there was very exciting. I have to look at it that way. I actually, here's the thing, I'm a really I'm a stats guy. I like to look at analyze the data and everything. And for merch, I guess because of Amazon pretty much having all the information, I don't do that kind of like detailed analysis where right now, for example, I know I can pull up those numbers easy, but I'm saying I don't know how many products I have live in the UK or Germany or anywhere else. So I would be kind of curious to see, like, do I have double the number of products in Germany than I do in France? Is this, like, what's the difference? And then also, as I've been kind of talking about getting to the point where I want to be with my numbers, looking at the overall live products, do I want to, dedicate 15,000 products to the US market and then maybe split this up? Or am I just going with equal numbers? Like there are a lot of questions. Like you can play around with that. So to me, that's that's definitely something that I would like to look at more. But I've mentioned a few times in these videos, and this is definitely not an excuse. This is a reality for me. It's just I don't really have time. Like I really wish I could dedicate full-time hours to this kind of stuff, but I can't. The reality of life, until you get to that point where you're living off of this money and you don't have to have a day job, or support a family or pay any bills, then it would be much easier. So if you're in that situation, then that's awesome, because then you can actually dedicate 8 hours a day to this business. But for someone like me, it's, I get an hour or two here and there, and then you really have to kind of commit after already working a full-time job and then taking care of your family and all that. But this is where we are. So again, I'm very happy and optimistic about the whole merch activity. Tier 20,000, but like I said, this number here is definitely not used in the way that I want to use it. But even though that's the case, I'm still hitting, at least for the last couple of months, $1,000 in royalties a month, and it feels pretty good. So overall numbers, 9 sales in the US, 1 I think it was France yesterday, and for the total of 10. Total number of sales for the first 15 days is 134. So I guess if I had to average this out, we're hovering around 9 sales a day, and I've just hit $420 in royalties in the US. So that's kind of where I am. I'm going to leave it at that. If you guys have any questions, thoughts, you know where to leave them, and I will see you soon.